All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to take a moment. Veronica Gerasimo, Assistant Dean of Student Life and Leadership. I'll be taking a moment to share some services that our office offers, as well as how we can connect students to get involved remotely. Sharing my screen. All these beautiful faces that you see now. Okay. All right, campus and student life. So our student life and leadership, but our realm looks at a lot of everything from beginning to end outside of the classroom. So we start with online and student orientation. In the virtual world, we have switched to an online, self-paced new student orientation. We have wrapped this up. We are doing our final testing and will be sent to all new students this weekend. And we are encouraging students to complete this through the month of September. This is going to include everything that we would have during our regular in-person new student orientation, but of course in an online format. We are going to be supplementing this with events throughout the month of September with panels, guest speakers, meet pizza with the president, different things like that. Our Office of Student Life and Leadership offers over 400 events a year organized by the Office of Student Life and Leadership and our clubs and organizations. We have 40 student-led clubs, organizations, and honor societies, and a plethora of community service opportunities and leadership development training throughout. A majority of our events for this fall will be virtual. We will have minimal on-person grab and go. I put go in capital letters, like grab it and go. We love you, but go. No congregating. But we do want to make sure that we're still serving our in-person as well as our online and remote students. And then finishing out with graduation events and commencement. Everyone got the email this morning that unfortunately our commencement, which was going to be in person this December, is now virtual. But we will be also celebrating in person, hopefully next May. But our office does a lot. We really want to make sure that students are engaged, involved. We all know the involved student, the engaged student is a successful student. So the value of that is really high for us, and we really make it a priority while members of the HCCC community. So just to show some of the current clubs that we have on campus, over 30 student-led clubs and organizations. It's always growing. We're always having new clubs join. Our Latinx American Association is one of our newest clubs, as well as Students Against Ableism, which started last semester, and all the clubs that you see on the screen. Our Student Government Association represents the voice of the student body, and they are the overarching umbrella to our clubs and organizations, along with our office. Our SGA, we are working on appointments right now, and we will be releasing those names and doing the swearing in for our new SGA. But all of these are opportunities that you can encourage students to get involved. Of course, we have organizations and clubs that are more major focused and career focused, but we do also have kind of a special interest or an identity related club. And we really know that the value of students being able to connect with students that are like them, interested in the same things, and being able to create that group of people that you have, your family, outside of your family, is really important. We have 7 honor societies on campus. Alpha Sigma Lambda is our newest honor society that we'll be having our first induction for this fall. We were supposed to have it last spring, but we will be having a virtual induction this fall. That is our adult student honor society. Chi Alpha Epsilon, our EOF focused honor society. The National Society of Leadership and Success. Students actually just received invitations. We invited about 1,400 students into our chapter this semester. They received their invitation, I think last night or this morning. We're starting to see new members join in. Our amazing Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society chapter, who is doing amazing things every day. Psi Beta, our Psychology Honor Society. Salute for our veteran students. And Sigma Kappa Delta. The honor societies are great ways to get involved as well, because you are a member and you are a member for life. That opens up opportunities for scholarships, again, leadership development, community service, being with like-minded people, people that understand you and people that are like you, and pushing you to that next level of involvement. We have our Involved, our HCCC student engagement platform. So I'm going to go to this next slide so you can see what it looks like on your laptop. Involved.hccc.edu. We launched this last year, and this is a way for students to get involved, join clubs, find events, track their involvement, which we'll be able to show off through their involvement portfolio, and track all different highlights, experiences. We're really pushing this, of course, this semester, but in the past year, we have over 3,000 users on this site, really getting students to make this their hub of being involved. So you could join as well. It's a single sign-on with your Hudson email, involved.hccc.edu, log in, create a user account, and now you can get involved. Lastly, oh, I think I just clicked on a hyperlink. I did. Let's go back. Okay. Lastly, our academic collaboration grant. So every year, the Office of Student Life and Leadership sets aside thousands of dollars specifically with the goal to assist faculty in providing co-curricular experiences for our students. We understand the value in the student learning, being able to do something or maybe hear from somebody in your field really enhances the student learning experience. So of course, now that we are mostly online or remote, this may be more so in the guest speaker or experts in the field for your students, which will be a really great way to kind of mix up what's happening in your classroom or your virtual classroom. We will be sending an email to all the deans at the end of this week to share with faculty. If you want to start thinking about maybe what's a guest speaker that you can bring for your students or a kind of a co-curricular experience. Obviously, in the past, we would do different trips, different site visits, but now that we are remote, we want to still encourage you to think about ways that you can heighten the learning and expand the scope of your students in the classroom. You can feel free to email me directly with any direct questions about the academic collaboration grant, but your dean will be getting that information. I'm sorry, the alarm is going off. I'm going to finish up. Your dean will be getting that information as well. But everything that we do, we really focus on engaging students, and we really value our student life that we have on campus. And we're really open to collaborating. Even if there's an event that you want to make happen or you're not really sure where or how, make sure to reach out to us and we can help you with that. Okay, I'm going to mute myself.
Thank you.
Diana, you're muted.
Diana, you're muted. We can't hear you.
That would help, wouldn't it? Okay. Thank you, Veronica. Up next, we have from Tutorial Services, Kenny Cabrera. He's the Assistant Director and Writing Center and Retention Services. And Kyle Woolley, he is the Head Tutor of the Math, Science, and Business departments.
Thank you very much, Diana. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kenny Cabrera, the Assistant Director of the Writing Center and Retention Services. And my colleague Kyle Woolley and I are just going to speak to you about the kind of resources that are available to students regarding tutoring as we've navigated onto this virtual remote platform. So I just want to start off by talking about Smart Thinking. Smart Thinking is a third-party entity that the college pays for, and it's readily accessible at the student's fingertips. Literally, from the Canvas page, as you see here, this is a sample page of a course that I taught. This is available to instructors and students as well, and I'll go into a bit more detail regarding that. So on the left-hand side, as you scroll down, you see different options to click on. Smart Thinking Online Tutoring. Once you click on that, you can just scroll to the bottom where it says click it to continue. This has to do with the type of browser you're using. So here, you'll see this is Welcome to Smart Thinking. And here you'll see the two options, refer my students to tutoring or log in as a student. So I'm going to show you the first option, which is if you're the instructor and you wish to refer your students to tutoring, you click on this
Anna, you're not sharing your screen.
Right now, oh, goodness gracious. That's the first thing I should have done. Give me 1 second. All right, so let me backtrack that a bit. All right, so here on the Canvas course page, on the left side, you'll see different options to choose from. As you scroll to the bottom, you'll see Smart Thinking Online Tutoring. Once you click on this, it's going to ask you to essentially just click on click here to continue. This has to do with the kind of browser you're using. Just click on the tab, click here to continue. And you'll see from here, the home screen, you have two options, or multiple options. But the ones I want to focus on are the first two, which is refer my student or students to tutoring, and log in as a student. So as the instructor, you can refer a student or students to tutoring. By clicking on this link, you'll see here, at the moment, there's no course available because the summer session has ended. But once the fall semester has begun, you'll see the courses that you are teaching in this section here. So you can also send individual referrals by clicking on this option right here. And you can just enter the student or student's emails into this section. And as it says here, just use a comma to separate the email addresses. So for instance, for a course that I'm teaching in the fall, if I want to refer students, you can just choose if it's a pre-schedule. So as that implies, the students can plan ahead what day and what time best meets their, their needs. They can have drop-in sessions, and as all drop-in sessions imply, it's depending on if there's a tutor available at that given time. There might not be one, so the student will have to wait, but that option is, of course, available. Offline questions, so these questions are typically answered within the 2-hour time frame. So a student can expect to submit a question and receive a response within 24 hours, and paragraph, essay, so on and so forth. So just for the sake of showing you an example, I'm going to pre-schedule, and then here, select the subject. So from this drop-down box, you see a myriad of subjects, everything from STEM to writing to social sciences, whatever the case may be. So it's a pretty extensive list of subjects that instructors can select. And if it's not specifically something that says ESO, you can just put writing all subjects. And in this box right here, you can be more specific as to what you want or what you would like the tutor and tutee to kind of cover, whether it's syntax or grammar or essay organization or structure, whatever the case may be, and then send a referral. So that's one option for instructors. And the other option would be you want to log in as a student, right? So go through the same process, click here to continue. And now you see it's a little bit, same features, just a little bit different colors and whatnot. So here, the student can select if they want to work with the coach or tutor or career coach. They can also submit their writing or career documents. So by career coach and career documents, what that implies is that they do have business writing and interviewing option as well, in addition to the traditional academic subjects. So similar features, they can elect for a drop-in session, schedule a future session if they wish. Of course, we always recommend scheduling future sessions. This way, the student can find the exact day and time that best suits their needs. So, for instance, let's say writing. So then it breaks it down into smaller components: reading, paragraph development, thesis statement, research and documentation, whatever the case may be. They even have ESL specialists. So if an ESL student wishes to work with somebody who has more thorough in language learning or linguistics, they can elect to work with a tutor who has this expertise. So as they continue breaking down whatever they want to choose, the subject they want to work on, they'll eventually land on this page, which is the scheduling page. And from here, you'll see the white boxes are the available times. The gray boxes are the hours that have passed. The light grayish, light bluish boxes, we're currently in this time frame right now, 12:30, 12:47. So it's very user friendly and fairly easy to navigate. So students have a certain amount of time allotted to them. When the student runs out of time, they will email wc@attc.edu to request additional allotment of time, which I would provide for them. I believe they're given a 2-hour allotment of time. And the sessions aren't necessarily 1 hour. They can be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on the student's needs. And it'll dock that time from the student depending on how long the session lasts approximately. So once again, this is access from Canvas, from any Canvas course page. This is available to instructors and students, and we encourage faculty to encourage students to use these resources or this particular resource, as it is free to the students. And it's something that has had very good results, proven results. We meticulously analyze the data, consistently throughout the semester. We see who's using it, how often are they using it, and the kind of results it produces at the end of the semester is quite impressive. So this is Smart Thinking, and I typically send out information college-wide regarding how to access Smart Thinking, kind of quick cheat guides, so that if any questions arise, faculty and students have it readily available to them. And of course, faculty and students can always contact me with any questions or concerns. I'd be more than happy to help resolve those questions or concerns. So this is basically what I wanted to cover with Smart Thinking. I'm going to hand it off to my colleague Kyle to discuss other tutoring resources.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So as Kenny mentions with Smart Thinking, that's available through Canvas, and that's 24/7. We also have tutoring through our own tutors in the ADJ Academic Support Services Centers. That's available through hcc.mywconline.com. I just shared that in the chat, and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Okay, so after the student logs in, they're going to see the schedule like this. This is the summer schedule, so it does look a little bit different right now because the summer schedule is over. But usually the dark gray boxes here are purple, which means that the tutor is not available at that time. And these lighter gray boxes are typically white, representing that the student can make an appointment for that time. So all of the students can narrow down the subject using the limit by class option at the top. So we always recommend that all students use that. So if you can mention that to your students when they ask about that. Because number one, not all of our tutors tutor every single subject, so we want to make sure that they're choosing the tutor that actually works with that subject. So say someone needed to come in for basic, actually let's do something that not every tutor tutors. So let's say college chemistry 1, a student had to come in for here. So this limits the schedule just specifically to those students, those tutors who work with college chemistry 1. And then again, these light gray boxes would typically be white, where the student can then click on that, which will bring up the appointment form that looks similar to this, where the student then fills in all of their information down at the bottom, and it'll add their appointment into the system. At the time of their online appointment, they'll just be reopening their appointment window, again, this window here, and clicking Start or Join Online Consultation, which will open the online system that we have here. So this is actually a previous student appointment here. So you can see all of the work that was done in there by our tutors previously. We also are using GoBoard, which here I'm going to show you that quickly as well. GoBoard is another tool that tutors can use, especially for the STEM subjects that make it easier to work with the students. You'll be able to see, again, the audio and video here in the right corner, and you'll also be able to do a lot of more tools that are available here in GoBoard, where students can actually take a photo of something that's in their notebook and send it into this GoBoard, so that way it's not something they have to like scan and then copy and paste in. There's a whole bunch of other features in here, which is the background and grid, so that way you can change what the grid looks like and the colors of the entire thing, as well as many other tools for math, chemistry, physics, business, with all the tables and other things that are useful here, which is more impactful for our STEM students that are looking for the remote tutoring. We will also have some select time available for in-person tutoring. But again, that's by appointment only, and that needs to be made ahead of time. We need to make sure that we have someone available for that student. So that was mainly our overview for our online remote tutoring through WC Online, and you can always ask us whatever questions that you might have. You can send the students to our portal page, and they can get in contact with us to assist with making appointments for online tutoring.
I just wanted to piggyback very quickly off of Kyle, what he just finished saying, is we are going to have on-the-ground tutoring this fall semester. It's in limited capacity compared to how we usually offer throughout the academic year. So we will be open 5 days a week instead of 6 days a week, Monday through Friday. But our hours are different, Monday and Wednesday from 10 to 3, and then Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 6. And this information will be disseminated college-wide, of course, as our flyers through communications department, so on and so forth. And we send this college-wide to all students and all faculty as well. So it's going to be limited in the sense that we're going to minimize the number of students or number of bodies in any given space at any given time. So students will have to make appointments at least a week in advance so we can plan ahead and plan accordingly to know who's going to be here in the writing center, for instance, at what time, to minimize. We're trying to keep it down to about 6 people within the writing center at any given moment. So it takes careful planning and careful negotiation, but this is the way that we found to be the most feasible to provide the service to the students without compromising everyone's personal safety and well-being. So we will have on-the-ground tutoring, virtual tutoring, and so we're going to try to meet students wherever they are in every capacity available. And of course, like, as I mentioned, the information will be disseminated to the college as we approach the beginning of the semester. So please, again, encourage your students to utilize smart thinking, encourage your students to come see us either in person or remotely via WC Online, and let them know that we're here as a resource to help them in all their academic needs, and that we're willing and ready and available to assist them any way possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kyle and Kenny. Up next, we have Victoria Marino, and she's the Director of Career Services.
Thank you, Diana. Everybody, good to see you all. So yes, I oversee career services, and the department is 100% virtual for the fall semester. And there are 3 key things that I think would be relevant for you to hear now: Career Spark, YouTube, and Big Interview. And all these things, you can find them on our Career Services portal page, but a quick overview right now. Career Spark is like the one platform that the department is going to live, eat, and breathe out of. Like everything is done through there. So students can upload their resumes, we can give them feedback, they can apply to jobs, look at employers, they can chat with us. There's a chat function in there, which is actually pretty rad. They can schedule appointments with us. So this is going to be fully rolled out with all the students mid to end of September once the import is set up. But faculty also have access to this platform. So I really encourage you to register for a faculty account. You can view employers, follow employers, look at jobs. You can recommend job leads to students. You can view all of our virtual events, like any employer information sessions or virtual on-campus recruitment. All communications are going to be driven through that platform. So again, the link to register for faculty is on our portal page. Now, YouTube is the other big piece here. Please subscribe to our channel. We have the lofty goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers, so please do that. The channel is Hudson Career, all one word. All of our workshop curriculums are created into a video. And when I mean like curriculum, I mean like it's a PowerPoint, it's a presentation. We're talking for upwards of an hour regarding resumes, cover letters, interview skills. All of our topics are now accessible and on demand at any given time. So these can be homework assignments, they can be viewed in class. But you know, the idea here is that we want everybody in the college to have access to the information we have, so we're all speaking the same language and giving the students the same advice. So everything's coming from, you know, one place or one source. So that's accessible to you. We have a bunch of shorter videos for tutorials, like how to use Career Spark or how to use Focus 2, which is one of the self-assessment platforms we have. We are steadily adding content to it. So again, please keep reviewing it and check it out, and please subscribe because that'd be super cool. And then the last platform is Big Interview. This platform is a platform that students can log into where they can watch video tutorials on how to interview and practice their interview skills via recordings. Now, the videos are nice. They're helpful. They're okay. I think ours are better, but it's just, you know, one more tool in the student's toolbox to watch. But I think the better part of the platform is that students watch a pre-recorded person asking interview questions, like common interview questions, and then the student records themselves to answer it, and they can view themselves and see how they did. What's awesome is that they can email this to Career Services, to their advisor, to a faculty member, and get feedback. And you can log in and you can rate them on certain competencies, like how is their eye contact, how much filler do they have, are they enthusiastic? You can give feedback on each question and rate them. It's really cool. And faculty can have access to the platform as a sub-administrator or an org admin. And you can create custom assignments based on where you are in the student's journey at the college. So for example, you know, I partner with speech classes with this platform, and, you know, they can ask all the generic questions that are always asked in an interview, right? Like, tell me about yourself. What are your strengths? You know, do you have any questions for us? So the students can start to master the basics of any interview. But then once they get to their final semester, when they're in their internship classes or when they're in their final required class for their major, now you can start having custom assignments that are based on that major and their industry specific interview questions. So I think there's a lot of potential to weave this through the student's journey. And I am your IT troubleshooting person. I have walked faculty through this step by step. I've helped them build it, and I've troubleshooted any problems they've had. So nobody's ever left in the dark with this stuff. Like, I am your person. I will help you build what you need and do what you got to do. So yeah, Career Spark, YouTube, Big Interview. Do it.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Up next, we have Gretchen Schultz. She is the Assistant Director of Advising, Counseling, and Transfer Services.
Hi, everyone. All right, let me just share my screen. All right, so I'm just going to give a kind of quick run through of some of the big things that our department is doing remotely. So let's start over with advising, because that's probably what you guys are all most familiar with. Right now, we are predominantly seeing students remotely. If you want to screen grab this, or I can send it to you afterwards, this is our Calendly link, and that's how students are able to make appointments. I'll actually even zoom in a little bit. This is kind of what the homepage looks like, and we're actually offering student services for continuing students over here, some new students. And then we also are able to offer appointments in Arabic and Spanish for our ESL population. We do have some limited on-campus services. So I'm actually in my office right now. We have some staff over in the student center serving students today. So along with us and then enrollment and financial aid, we're offering those in-person appointments here. Much to Tori's point, I feel like a YouTuber when I say please subscribe. We also have a YouTube channel, but we are not anywhere near that 1,000 that she's hoping for. I think we have 81, so I'm a little ashamed to have that on there now. But please subscribe, as what we try to post there is actually really handy video tutorials. So if you encounter students that are wanting to register but are struggling, one of our staff, Candace, did a great job of doing full video walkthroughs for students. We also have a very busy inbox, but this is our general inbox. So if you ever have students that are encountering any challenges, please encourage them to email us. We have about 3 staff as well as myself that kind of peek at that email and make sure that it gets responded to within 1 business day. And because I'm also a quantitative person, I always like to kind of share some stuff. We've had students schedule over 6 appointments since we've been remote, and our staff have sent almost 14,000 text messages. So students really are accessing our services, and we are really trying to be as available as possible for them during this time. The other side of my job that I do is the transfer piece. So even when we switched to remote in March, we were able to kind of finish out all of our instant decision days, and we do plan to have a host of those as well for the fall. So we've been working with our 4-year schools to make sure that we're still able to offer that opportunity to students. So we'll be having that kind of come out a little bit later in the fall. Additionally, our 4-year representatives have been fantastic and have really been able to be flexible, meeting with students and hosting kind of WebEx hours, and also just being able to connect with students virtually. So that is something we are going to plan to continue to do. And I also just got a notification today that the 2-year, 4-year commission is actually, our transfer commission is running a virtual student transfer fair. So that's something that we're going to be promoting to our students as well. So there are going to be opportunities for students to plan their next steps even while being remote. And as always, our staff is happy to support you. And if there's anything you need, please feel free to reach out to me personally.
Thank you so much, Gretchen. And finally, we have Doreen Pontus. She's Associate Director of the Wellness and Counseling Center for the Academic and Student Success. Doreen?
I will share my screen. Are you guys seeing it? Do you see it? Yes, Veronica, I see your face. All right. Mental health counseling and wellness right now is completely remote. I'm doing telehealth services, which is done through either WebEx or Zoom. I do like Zoom because of the HIPAA compliant rules. It is not done in front of my computer. I don't know if you can see my back room. I have a chair with a waterfall and technical like things that make it look like you're going into a counselor space. I also offer phone services. We are doing community referrals as well as school referrals. Referral reasons, you would refer a student if they were struggling academically, anxiety, depression symptoms, decline in personal grooming, hygiene, if they lose their temper quickly, if they're sharing family problems. And this is a big one. If they are attending class initially and showing interest, and then all of a sudden they fall off the face of the earth, please don't wait till the end to refer them. Refer them immediately to our general care concern form. How to refer, you have many ways to do the referral. You can go directly to your portal at My Health Counseling Wellness, or you can go to Hudson County Cares and click on General Care Concern Form. I'm going to click on it. Hopefully it'll open and show you. It is a simple form that you fill out the student's name, email address, the date, the reason for your referral, brief sentence of what's going on. You could click one of the buttons if something is going on. If you have a student that is suicidal, if they've said things like, I want to kill myself, I'm done with this, you want to not completely refer them, but contact us directly so that we can help the student with the situation immediately.
Doreen, the screen is gray. You're not showing the slide.
I'm not sure. Oh, is it back?
Yep.
All right. Did you guys see the general care form?
No.
I'm not sure why it didn't do that. When I clicked it, it went there.
I think it's only because you're showing the PowerPoint application and not everything on your screen.
All right.
So when you leave PowerPoint, it blocks everything out.
All right. Very good. All right. So the new thing that's coming up that you'll see emails about is called Talk Campus. That is a new app. It is free for all our HCC students. It's peer-to-peer support. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, weekends included. It's a judgment-free environment where students can text and communicate with another peer. If they start presenting with clinical symptoms, they will be escalated to a clinician that will then communicate with our office and our department. This is a great app. They offer free guided meditations, wellness tips, sleep tips, and they also have a great journaling feature. All of those are free for our students. The students will be getting an email from VP Lisa about how to log on to Talk Campus. It is a great app. I've heard wonderful things about it. It is a new launch. It's to help provide more services for our students. As you know, September is coming up and it is National Suicide Prevention Month, and we are doing the Be the One to Save a Life. You're going to ask the questions. You're going to keep them safe by listening to them judgmentally free, help them connect with services, whether it's my department or using the 800 number. We are also hosting some workshops over for mental health first aid training. We're doing a Columbia screening tool workshop for students as well as staff if they want to attend, and the library will be hosting a poetry night. Prior to my coming on, you guys had things out stating, the 5 signs, but I have not seen anyone really take the pledge. As you can see, my interns have taken the pledge and other staff members have done that. I'm asking you go to changethedirection.org and take the pledge of learning the 5 signs of mental health. I'm not going to tell you that because I'm going to ask you to go take the pledge, learn the signs, and send us a picture of yourself so we can post it during Mental Health Awareness Month, Stigma Free. Remind students they are not alone. Telling them and talking with them and normalizing when you refer them to counseling, I want you to just have a straight up conversation with them. Let them know that it is confidential and private. It is not a part of their academic record. Normalize it so that they know they can get help. That is it. I thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.
Thank you so much, Doreen. So I want to now open up the floor for any questions you guys may have. And you want to ask any of the panelists or me?
I just want to take a moment to add into while questions are festering. All of the support done out of our Hudson Helps and our Hudson Cares program. So and financial aid as well with the CARES Act funding, our food pantry, connection to different organization entities. So if at any point this semester any student is having issues with basic needs, just getting, food on the table or their bills about to be shut off, we have the Hudson Helps grant. There's so much available. So if there's anything that a student comes to you with, reaching out to any of us here, we can definitely point you in the right direction. There's been a lot of work done with David Clark, June Barrier, Lisa, everybody that's been involved to really make sure that students aren't leaving us or aren't, you know, deterring away because of something that's going on at home. So we want to try to help out as best as we can with that.
And I just wanted to share, these are the different forms and links. I can email this out as well for the different remote service or services, care services that we're offering on campus now.
And this is not totally directly related, but if I could take this moment too, being remote, we're going to have a lot of students who may not be able to turn on their camera. And I know that's probably been a conversation amongst a lot of faculty. A lot of things that I'm seeing on the Facebook groups I'm part of, or just hearing from students, is really understanding that our students may not be in the place that they can turn on their camera, or may not have the technology to turn on a camera. So really, I know that it's difficult work, but thinking about ways to make sure that students are engaged sans camera and sans face, and that they're also still getting the information, because I know that there's kind of, you know, the balancing act of understanding that they're connecting with you and not seeing them.
Yeah, that's a great point. If I may add to that, about the functions available to students, if they don't have the audio or video capabilities from their laptop or personal computer, they can still receive tutoring. This is a chat format, much like we use here WebEx or Zoom. So although audio and video would be the ideal setting, if they cannot meet face to face, they can still receive tutoring in some shape or form. So the fact that there are different functionalities and modalities available, it tries to meet the students in whatever capacity that they find themselves in, technology-wise or whatever the case may be. So I'm glad you brought that point up.
A great tip that I read somewhere was, on your first day of class, possibly teaching students on how they can upload a profile picture to whatever video conferencing software you're using. That way, if their camera is off, at least you still see their profile picture. So that may be helpful for kind of that connection point. And I've seen some professors or teachers, and it may be more in like the K through 12, that they'll have, you know, theme days. So like, you know, have your profile picture be something you're, I don't know, wearing green. I don't know, but just to make it fun and still have that engagement aspect of it. That's just my little soapbox of video, so I'll stop with that now.
We still have no questions whatsoever.
Or maybe any instances in your classroom with students that maybe you weren't quite sure where to point them, or anything that, even if this becomes kind of like an open sharing opportunity of how we're kind of handling students while they're going through the pandemic and everything attached to it, that maybe we can help each other out.
There is one other thing I wanted to share for our online tutoring platform. As I mentioned in the chat, like they have the Synchronous Whiteboard, but also in the GoBoard and in the chat function and main text box on the regular WC platform, everything's saved in there, so that way the student can actually go back to that at any time afterward. So if there's something that they discussed that they maybe wrote down in their notebook, maybe wrong, or they scribbled it real quickly and can't make out what it says, they can actually go back and look at that information again, so that way they can double check and get any clarification that they have for that.
Right, and also just to let everybody know, in person, we try to make it a point to go into every single classroom at the first 2 weeks of the semester, where we come into the classroom and speak to the students for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes maximum, about our services. And oftentimes when students place a name to the face or a face to the name, they become more, it's more of an incentive for them to come see us. It's more inviting, it's more personable. So we still want to maintain that virtually. So if any faculty or anybody wants us to come into the classroom virtually, we can do so, and we can speak to the students, and we can show them how to access WC online, how to access Smart Thinking. This it's not just something that they kind of heard exists or they know it, but they can actually see how easy it is to actually use and we could just kind of break down our hours of operation, our schedules, and what tutoring consists of, and how we can help them, meet and reach their maximum potential in their course. So please let us know, Kyle or myself, or any of our staff, if you would like to come to the classroom virtually to speak to students. And at any given point in the semester, but preferably at the beginning would be ideal. This way students can start using tutoring from the get-go instead of the final week of the semester. As it's a gradual process, a consistent process that keeps building on their skills and knowledge. So please let us know.
One other thing that I wanted to mention that I guess we didn't think about is social media. I highly encourage you guys to encourage your students to follow us on social media. It's one of the quickest and most updated source for remote services. I take care of the North Hudson Instagram and Facebook page. I'm always posting the coronavirus concern form for students who need laptops, the refund schedule, tuition fees, events that are going on campus, from the diversity, equity, and inclusion committee, from announcements from the president. So it's just a great way for them to be on a platform that they're familiar with and getting the information that they need that usually they would see on a flyer in a bulletin board on campus, and now they don't have that option. So we have 5 more minutes. If anybody wants us to put any information in the chat that you guys heard throughout the presentation and just didn't have the chance to write it down, you can let us know and we'll type it away. Or any questions?
I just want to say thanks to everybody, and I think putting those links over there is really helpful, so I can kind of grab them and pull them and make my own kind of sheet. I know last year I think they sent out a sheet that had links to everything. Are we going to be getting something similar to that with all the student services?
I know there is. Oh, sorry, Dana, you want to
Oh,
say
go ahead, go ahead.
I know there's a lot of resources that were sent to Lalisa that are posted on the College Service Day portal page on the bottom left. So there's a lot of the forms and things that are there. I don't know how all of the forms are there and a lot of the links and stuff, but there's a lot of reference material there on the College Service Day page.
There's also a student services grid that the Student Affairs Committee and the All College Council put together. So in my transition out as chair and Chris Conzen's transition in, we're working together to update that to make sure that remote, people who are not on campus, that their address isn't there, so students aren't thinking that they're on campus. So we have that updated, as well as with links for the CARES Act and the concern form. So that will be going out. So it's not necessarily directly from the links shared here, but overall information with that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
So I just want to thank everybody, all the panelists for sharing that amazing information. I learned a couple of things. And then everybody that joined us. If you guys have any other questions or concerns about remote services or need help getting into contact with somebody, you can always contact me. I'll share my email in the chat. I wasn't kidding when I said I was a journalist, and I try to help as much as possible. But other than that, thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of College Service Day. We're going to check out any other workshops.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thanks, everyone.
Give a little dance. Do-do.
Hey, Veronica, real
Yeah.
quick while I have you on here, I will need on Involve the honor student council switched over to me as well.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
I will email you that too, but I just thought like, since I saw that on your list before when you were talking, I was like, I gotta tell Veronica a reminder.
That's easy. I'll do that right now. And then we just got, oh, sorry.
No, I just wanted to tell you that Honors Adult Society, sign me up. That sounds like my ball game. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell Angela because right now, I mean, Angela really took lead on that. So we both of us are down as like co-advisors, but if you want to like co-advise with Angela, that would be awesome. I'll let her know. Thank you. Yeah, Kyle, I'll add you on right now. We got a bunch of all of the like main current clubs. We got them at hccc.edu email addresses. Just so that, you know, because some like clubs are really like presidents were using, oh, email me. So we want to keep everything consistent. So we'll send that over to you as well.
That'll be awesome.
Honor Student Council at hccc.edu so that they have their own email address. And we are getting Zoom accounts for the clubs too. So if they're having events or meetings, you don't have to worry about using yours or theirs.
Okay, because that was what I was like concerned about. Like they want to plan all these events, and I'm like, oh great, now I gotta like schedule these Zoom meetings, set alternate hosts, or log on and make someone. I'm like,
exactly. That's why we're trying to save all of that. And like, okay, do I have a meeting at that time? I can't have 2 meetings at once. So
yeah, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll
too.
just upgrade my personal account and pay for that, and then just give them that information.
Oh
And
lordy,
like,
no. Let's make it easy. Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll be in touch soon about, you know, everything else.
Yeah, do we have something tomorrow morning actually?
Do we? Oh yeah, just a pep talk, the chat.
Yeah.
Easy, nothing, don't worry. We're just talking.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Take care.
Awesome. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.